Hi there everyone, welcome to this short video on making clear decisions quickly. It's a practical model for removing that internal conflict that can go on and really lock us up and get us confused when we need to make decisions rather quickly. Now we've all experienced this cognitive dissonance, even if we haven't known what it is. It's that conflict within us where we feel like this, where our beliefs, our values, our needs, our wants all sort of go against each other and are moving in different directions, and it creates this real tension where we end up having two different types of beliefs. We might see three different pathways, four different pathways, and just all of them look good and we're just not sure, and there's a real lack of alignment in our behavior, our values, our needs, our wants, and we're really unclear, and it makes us really anxious and really upset and confused and just causes this constant conflict inside of us. There's other key paradigms that can really mess up this whole area of making decisions quickly. Not just do we get cognitive dissonance, but we can also have paradigms in our mind where we struggle to align and make sense of what's going on. And there's forced compliance theory, there's free choice, there's effort justification, and forbidden behaviors. I'll give you an example of the last one. Forbidden behaviors might be you have a belief system, a religious belief system that doesn't allow you to even explore certain pathways, and of course that creates even more cognitive dissonance at times, because you might think that's the only way I can go really forward, but I can't because it goes against my values. And you can get your own PDF copy of this document and read through those things yourself in your own time, but some good little reading there. I find this picture really funny. See how long the line is to conforming to lies, and over the other side you've got unpleasant truth, which no one's there, because the fact is that when we lie to ourselves, it displaces actually well-being and self-mastery decision making. In the short term it helps us, but playing the longer game, and you know, because well-being's a long game, self-mastery is a long game, and when we do that, when we tell lies, it displaces well-being eventually. It displaces good quality relationships. It makes success and fulfillment even harder, because we have to keep lying to ourselves to stay in the system and to stay obligated and compliant with things that are going on. And so when we lie to ourselves, we can say things like, everyone else is doing it and they seem to be happy, but obviously they're not. They're just lying and they're putting on a fake game about it. You know, when we lie to ourselves, we develop negative habits, and we never really improve, and we never really access that self-mastery that we need to build and grow a successful life. We eventually displace and lose our uniqueness and our sense of purpose. We get totally lost around what are our strengths, what are our gifts, what are our abilities. And then obviously we begin to self-medicate. We dull the pain with movies, games, alcohol, sleeping in, whatever it might be that your poison is. So we try to convince ourselves that it's okay to lie to ourselves and stay in those conforming lies, and as a result of that, our well-being and our self-mastery just disappears. We know we are meant for more than this, but we keep pushing that down so that we can crack on with life. And there's a point where you've got to stop yourself, look in the mirror and say, I'm going to stop lying to myself. I'm going to step into the light. As uncomfortable and unpleasant as it is, I know the way forward is stepping into the light and through the light to the next thing. So Jackie Chan can even get cognitive dissonance. What does this mean? Now, as a result, people who experience cognitive dissonance can take steps to reduce it. They can do things like they try to hide their actions or their beliefs. They rationalize their actions or their choices continually. They shy away from conversations or debates. So this is the people who are lining up in that convenience truth line. They avoid learning new information. So even the fact that you're listening to this, I hope is giving you just a little bit of a different input coming in to sort of start to open up some of your belief systems, because you know for sure when you're in cognitive dissonance and you're playing games is you're not able to access well-being on a consistent basis. You're not able to self-master. You're not able to make decisions quickly, and you play games, obfuscation, the blame game, the complaining game. Oh, it's everyone else. It's the society. It's this. We justify. We make excuses. We avoid. We run away. Manipulate. Even workaholism is one of the greatest escapes, but particularly men use to avoid stepping into their light about their personal relationships or what's going on at home. they spend 80 hours at work and they earn lots of money and they can justify it by saying they're paying the bills, but really there's a hiding that's going on there. So here's sort of a really unstrategic way that we try and deal with cognitive dissonance. So here it is. Let's just start with a topic that we know, we can all agree on, that smoking cigarettes is unhealthy for you. Now that's a fact. It's a 100% evidence-based truth that we know now that smoking cigarettes causes some sort of sickness if it's a long-term thing. And so the cognitive dissonance is we might actually like smoking cigarettes and we actually enjoy it, and it gives us conversations. It means we can have 10 minutes off every hour at work, whatever it might be. And so we have this unpleasant state going on when we know we shouldn't be smoking. It's affecting our relationships. It makes us smelly. Our kids don't like it. It can shorten our life and all that. So we think, I've got to change this action because I've got to change it. So I'm going to tell myself a story now that smoking cigarettes is unhealthy. I'm going to believe that. Now we know that's true, but then we say to ourselves, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't. We just try and drum into our head this kind of new thing, and in an attempt to sort of change our belief, but it never really changes it, because the research of smoking is not conclusive. All of a sudden, all these other excuses and reasons start to pop into our head, which really create a misalignment in us. And so to make a change and to make a really clear decision, you have to be 100% focused. You have to be all in. You can't have bits and pieces of you going in different directions. We know that people who make really good decisions quickly are all in on that decision. They've done the thinking, their values, their beliefs, their needs, their wants, they're all aligned, and they go forward. And so, this is not enough really to get clear and cohesive with our decisions. It's not enough to sort of say, I know smoking's unhealthy, I know. You can see the picture there. It just continues to create this. Now it adds another dimension, which is, I can't change. I don't know, I can't do it. Now here's the way I deal with this. Step number one, it's a bit of a recovery model. I accept. Humbly accept and acknowledge you are in a personal decision conflict and you're losing your way. You got to stop lying to yourself. You've got to step into the light. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror. And I do a lot of this. I look at myself in the mirror and talk to myself, because if your head's going down when you're trying to talk to yourself, you're lying to yourself. Now here's a decision model that I make. Now the thing is, people who can make quick decisions, they make quick decisions because they're clear about what they want. They're clear about what they value. They understand their core needs and are looking after them. They understand what they believe, and they have a sense of what their feelings are about. And so when we are unclear, and when our wants are going in one direction, our values are going in another, we're unclear about our needs, I don't know what I believe really about here, and our feelings are kind of confusing, we don't know what the right word is to put on our feeling. You should always be able to identify the feeling. You should be able to say this, and if you don't, you can practice it. This creates indecisive conflict, and we take a long time to make decisions, and we often need to make a decision quickly to get access to a new opportunity. But if we take too long, then we lose that opportunity. And so a quick cohesive alignment happens here when we have done the work behind the scenes. You see, you already have to have done the work. You have to know what you want. It should be written down. You should be clear about your top 5 values. You should be clear about your core needs. You should have a sense of your worldview and what you actually really believe. And you're always working with that self-awareness of your emotions. And when you do that, you can decide quite quickly, and you can write it down, what you're going to do, and you just tell a few people, you don't tell a lot of people, and you just do it. And then obviously step number 4 is you do it. Action, action, action. People who don't do action and do a lot of talking to other people, but never really, you can see this model is really sweet. Accept it. Have those things in alignment before you even get to your decisions. Write it down so it's really nice and clear. Tell a few great people that you know, and get onto action. Implement practice action steps for the decision. So decisions are directional and move us towards what we believe, need, value, and want most in our lives each day. Now, if you don't know how to align those 5 things, you're never going to be able to make quick decisions, and you're always going to be in conflict. I hope that's been really helpful for you guys today, and if you want the free PDF copy of this presentation, please just send me an email or give me a call of some sort. But I do have in the Inspire Be a Better Leader program for about $20 at the moment, The Art of Making Decisions, which goes into a lot more depth about this topic. So thanks for being here today. All the best to you. Cheers.